Hi everybody!
Hello.
And welcome back for another live cook along with the St. Cooks. Yes, today we are making cheese straws, Senilinian cheese straws to be exact. And thank you for everybody who's been joining in with us week on week. This is our 5th week now of cooking live. So thanks for everybody who's cooked along up until now and made all those yummy things with us. The fish cakes, the plow, the pumpkin pudding.
And the curry puffs.
And the curry puffs, which loads of you sent us photographs of and actually took part or baked them in the week. And it's been amazing. So it obviously hit a nerve. You were desperate for some curry puffs in your life.
Yes.
So I'm so happy that we could help you with that.
Thank you very much for cooking along with us. We spent a lot of time kind of making sure that the recipes have no assumed knowledge in them, so that anybody who isn't Senilinian can make them. Or if you are Senilinian, it's just really easy to relive your childhood memory. So thank you to everybody who's cooking along with us. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, so as I said, today we are doing Senilinian cheese straws. And as you've seen from the recipe list that Robin's posted up earlier this week, they're so super easy to make.
And tasty.
And incredibly tasty. And if you've never made them before, a lot of people will have made this throughout their life if you're Senilinian. And there are English versions of it as well, so you'll realise that it's incredibly easy. It's only just 4 ingredients. How mad is that to make something so tasty? Just 4 ingredients. But yeah, hopefully this will be another recipe you can add to your collection of fun things you can do whilst we're all staying safe and trying to remain sane during these crazy times. So yeah, keep on watching and Robin's going to show you how to make a batch of cheese straws.
Okay, so we're all ready. I got my apron on for the St. Cooking. Got my recipe card. If you haven't got the recipe already, get the recipe. Like Emma Jane said, really easy to make. So come over here. What we've done is if you don't know, there's a little shortage of flour in the UK at the moment. So we've kind of divided our mixture into 2. So our recipe, if I go back to the recipe, says 500 grams of flour to 250 of butter, which is what we have, but we just broken it into 2. And all you need, if you look inside here, it's just 250 of flour to 125 of cubed butter. You want the butter to be a little bit chilled. You don't want it to be soft. And it's easy enough. Can you come up?
Yeah.
It's easy enough to be kind of very simple. It's 1 of flour to 1 of butter.
Right, I'm going to turn the camera around because my arm's getting hot holding it like this. I'm just getting so excited because the prospect of having cheese straws very shortly is just making me, lose control here.
So
right, okay.
Very, very simply, just cube the butter and just put it into the flour. Like I said, one of butter to 1 of cheese, and then 1 of flour to 1 of cheese, and then half of butter. So what that simply means is, if you have 500 grams of flour, then it's 500 grams of cheese to 250 grams of butter. And then you adjust accordingly. So if you had, for example, like I have here, 250 of flour, then it's 150 of butter and 250 of cheese. So very, very simple recipes. Now, all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to crumble it. So just take my hands and I'm just going to massage it. Gently massage the flour and the butter together until it crumbles like you would do if you're making an apple crumble or something like that. Now, while I'm doing this, because it'll just take a few seconds, Emma Jane's going to talk about her love of cheese straws.
Yeah, well, as Robin said, cheese straws is one of those things that we all grew up eating if you're growing up in Helena, and it's super easy to make. It's going to take you minutes to make that kind of crumble mix of butter and flour. But, I remember having cheese straws a lot growing up at people's weddings. It always used to seem to be the go-to thing at people's weddings.
We had them in our wedding.
We had them at our weddings, and we decided to do them in little shapes of stars and hearts for our wedding day. So they're very versatile. But yeah, they always seem to be something I can remember as a kid as being at weddings or being at community centre dances, when the Hofstra community centre dances used to be happening every weekend. And, there'd be a little army of people in the kitchen cooking all sorts of amazing things, like deviled eggs and coconut fingers and cheese straws and all Breton dance, all those amazing things. And it's one of those things that you were always, as a kid, just sneaking another one and another one and another one and another one, because you can never get enough of it because it's so good. So yeah, that's one of my early memories of cheese straws.
And look, I'm done.
As done as that?
As simple as that. So all I've done is crumble it, and you can see, just use my fingers, so if you come close you can see the technique. You know, because I'm like, technique in it. So if you look down, just simply, just crumble it all together like that. The butter and the flour until you get kind of this consistency. Oh, don't drop it on the floor. And that's pretty much it. You just take your cheese. So again, 250 of cheese. We use cheddar cheese just because it's kind of the right texture. Anything harder doesn't really kind of mix in very well. You'll see why in a minute. And anything softer, it just disintegrates. So cheddar cheese is just the sweet spot. You want something to be mild or mature though. Sorry, medium to mature cheddar, just so you can get the taste of the cheese through. Like a mild, the taste
will get lost.
disappears. So a mature or a medium. This is a medium just because we're making this also for a little one. So just pour the cheese in. Now also traditionally, we use a bit of cayenne pepper to it. Just to give it a little bit of bite. Where this is the traditional recipe, just cayenne pepper. You want like depending on how your tolerance is to spicy food, you just want like a half to a teaspoon. If you're, if you love the spice, add more. Just add as much as you want, right? But like I said, we're making this for a 2-year-old as well, so we're not going to add that much. We're just going to give it a little bit of a bite.
Yeah, just gonna. So. It looks more than it actually is, but once you mix it through, it's actually just going to have a nice warming when you bite into it. Not too spicy, like Robin said. Whilst he's mixing that in...
Now, before I do that, so just to say also, at this stage, you can add extra flavor. So like if you like a bit of paprika like I do, Emma Jane isn't a fan of paprika. I don't know why, it's delicious, amazing, beautiful. You can add that in. If you add another type of spice, I know loads of people add different spices at this stage. If you're making this along with us, tell us what you add, or if it's not a family secret, of course, you don't want to keep it a secret. Just tell us what to add. I personally don't add at this stage because I add a special ingredient at the end. You stay tuned for that. But I don't want to kill the flavor of the cheese too much. But at this stage, just a bit of cayenne pepper traditionally, and before you do anything else, you just want to mix this in together. Yeah, just mix it in like that, very simply, right? So the cheese is, let's move the card out of the way. And now we're going to knead it. So, just take it, make sure your bench is nice and clean. Just empty it onto the bench, or your wax surface, wherever you're making it. Pull it all together, and start kneading it.
Yeah, now if you've never made this before, a lot of people kind of get a bit worried at this stage and think, oh, it's too crumbly and it's never going to come together. Please don't be tempted to add water at this stage to try and bring it together, because it will just turn into a sticky, gooey mess. Trust that you just need some good old-fashioned elbow grease and some hard work, and it will come together, as you'll see in a minute as Robin's kneading it. As you're kneading, the warmth of your hands will warm up that butter and that cheese, and just your body temperature is enough to bring it together into a really nice dough. Yeah,
it's coming together already. That butter has softened up and it's just coming together. I'll keep working this while Emma Jane has a bit of a conversation with you guys.
Yeah, so shout outs to everybody that's kind of joined us so far and said hi. It's great that you guys are watching. Hi to Andrew Dillon and Tanya Cotton. My brother Darren's watching. To answer your question, Darren, yes, you probably should preheat the oven at 180 degrees if you can, and that would be good. Hi Andrew, hi Merrill as well, he's watching us, and Pam Brown.
Hi guys.
Great to have you guys back again. Kathy Bowers is watching us as well, hi to you. And she's making along with us as well right now. So can't wait to see the end product, Kathy. Just send us a picture at the end. We'd like to see what shapes you make or how they turn out. And Karen Burns in the Falkland Islands is cooking along with us right now as well, so interesting to see yours too. That's really good. Thanks guys. Shout out to Sylvia Thomas, of course. Johnny Klingham is here again. He said he's got Christine Angus grating the cheese for him right now. mature cheddar. I don't have semolina cheese. Well, that's very true. We don't have semolina cheese either, but we find the medium to mature cheddar.
I don't exactly know what is semolina cheese though.
I don't know. Maybe it's got a very distinct
Maybe
taste.
it's something alone with that they make. I don't know.
Maybe. Hi to Nicola Francis, Stacy, Derek Knowles in Cape Town. Great to have you here as well. Aisha Lorraine, she's here. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Hi.
Just turn the camera around.
Yeah, I get excited. Yeah, everybody's begging along quite nicely, so
Hi,
we get to see
guys.
some pictures. Hi. Yeah, and send your pictures to us as well. Right.
So that is essentially it. Now it's formed together into a little dough that you can roll out. Like I said, be careful not to overwork it though, because if you overwork it, you can dry it out. Don't be tempted to put more flour in it. Like Emma Jane said, trust that it will come together into a nice little ball like this. So now the other thing is, we could roll out this entire amount, but it'll be a bit difficult to work with. So you can just split it into sections, like so, and just roll it out. Like, you won't need extra flour when you're rolling it out. If you put too much flour into it, it tends to be a little bit doughy. So you want to avoid that. You just want like the cheese to come through. Just want the cheese to come through. Don't be tempted to add extra stuff. Yeah, so no water, no flour, just trust in the alchemy that is semolina cheese straws. Just trust it. Yeah? And then we just roll it out very simply. Of course, you can roll it out to your preferred thickness. We're going to do like the traditional thickness, just so this is the base recipe. If you like it a bit thicker, make it a bit thicker. If you like it a bit thinner, do a bit thinner. It's personally up to you. But we're just doing the traditional kind of method, and then you can take that traditional method and make it better. Or make it more personal. Yeah? So we just rolled this out very simply. Here we go. All done. That is literally it. Your instrument of choice. Simple dinner knife. Rounded edge so you don't, mess up your counter. And then we're just gonna cut these into strips.
Easy peasy.
I could use a ruler, and I could measure these out like I'm on the Bake Off or something. Like if I was on the Bake Off, like seriously, if I was on the Bake Off, I would measure these out with a ruler. They would be as perfect as I can make them. But we're in our kitchen, and so I'm just making them a bit more rustic. Yeah. You can make them thicker if you like. You can make them thinner if you like. This is kind of more the traditional size. I'm not gonna do them all because but you just want to do little strips like that, and then we're just gonna take the tops off. And like I said, traditionally they were a specific size, so we'll just get rid of this, just so you can see. And you can just pull all this together and then re-roll it. It's all absolutely fine. This is why this recipe is so easy, because it is just really easy to make. Like, you can't really mess this up.
Yeah.
You can't really mess this up. You can only make it better by your own personal style. Like, like I said, if you like a bit of paprika, throw that in there. If you like a bit of thyme, throw that in there. Throw it in there. Yeah? And then, traditionally, they're about this size. So, if I put my finger there, you can see they're roughly like 6 to 7 centimeters. They're roughly that size. You can make them bigger if you want. You make them smaller. Again, personal choice. Now, another secret tool, get a spatula. Just because as you worked it, the cheese is melted and the butter is cutting softer, they can get a little sticky to the surface sometimes. And like I said, you don't want to add the flour because it makes them overly doughy. So, just take a spatula and lift them up. And then just put them onto your baking tray with a little bit of greasewood paper or partridge? No, partridge is the bird.
Parchment paper.
Parchment paper. There we go.
You're American. Parchment paper.
But greasewood paper, if you come from Helena. And this is just as easy as they get. Yeah.
And as Robin said, super easy to make. So you can make these with kids as well. Kids love to make these, cut out some funky shapes. And it's just really cool fun.
Yeah.
You can't really go wrong with them, really.
So we'll stop there just for that point. So as Darren has asked, the oven is preheating and, cooking away there at 180. So we're just going to do a little egg wash. Now, you don't have to do egg wash if you don't have an egg. If you don't have an egg and you want to do a bit of a wash, you can use a bit of a milk. If you're doing loads and you want to stretch that egg out, add a bit of egg and milk together. The beauty about Senanian cooking generally is that because we're in an island, it's like we're always on lockdown. You can't always get stuff, so it's super adaptable, super flexible to your own taste, and you just adapt to what you have. So if you don't have any eggs, you don't use an egg, use some milk. If you have an egg is better. Alright, so we're just going to egg wash it, very simply. Put a nice bit of egg on there. Let's not be too scared.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Let's put some on there. Right. I'm just going to do these first couple just to show you my secret ingredient. And what I like to add to the cheese straws personally, just to give it a little bit of a kick. So let's just do those couple. Now, like I said earlier, you can add more spice to it if you like, more flavour. I don't because I want to taste the cheese. But at the end, I've discovered these little black onion seeds. Yeah? So what I do is...
Cheese and onion goodness.
Exactly. Complementary flavour to the cheese. And I just sprinkle some black onion seeds on the top of my egg wash. I could be a bit more targeted if I wanted. Just put it in my hand, sprinkle them on, like so. And these will cook nicely on the top of the cheese or the egg wash. And just give it a nice little extra crunch and flavour to complement that cheese. There we go. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And we're all done. Like, that is literally it. I don't know what the time is at the moment, but that is it. You just stick those in the oven, right? 180, like Emma Jane said, for about 12 to 15 minutes until they're nice and golden. They will expand a little bit, like, flatten out, but not much. So we're just going to do that. Put those in the oven. And then... some that I made earlier. Yay! Yeah. So as you can see, if you come closer, you can see the seeds have just cooked on the top. Also, you note, like, you can make some stars. Our little girl loves the stars, just because she eats around the points, so she loves them. Or you can make, a thick one with a bit of a twist, kind of like you see in the shops. But like I said, I add some seeds to mine. Look at them. Ah, so tasty.
Taste test.
Myself? There you got one for you.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna. Oh, these are really good.
I know they're good. And that is it. That is literally it. Senanian cheese straws done and dusted.
Super crumbly, really cheesy. Got a bit of a bite from the cayenne pepper. Just really, really lovely.
And how simple is that? That is really easy. And the best side of this is you can also make walrus teeth.
Hours of fun. Hours of fun. So yeah, I hope that loads of you got along to bake today, because it's pretty straightforward. As Robin said, there is a flour shortage in the UK now, but you can use plain flour or self-raising flour. Both works just as fine.
Well, the self-raising is a little denser, so it isn't as crumbly.
Yeah.
Because we've made it with self-raising, and it doesn't crumble as much, but it still tastes delicious.
It still tastes good, yeah.
Right, yeah. So that is it. Like I said, we even made a big one.
That's just for me.
That is just for me. Yeah. So yeah, if you're cooking along, as always, take a photo, share it with us in the comments, and we'll give you a shout out. We just love to see everybody's making it. We also, if you like the recipe, in addition to the card I showed you earlier, we also have our pack of cards or Senanian recipes. So we've got the basic 10 recipes of Senanian, 12 recipes, sorry.
12 Senanian recipes in there.
Which there's a link in our description, so you can go and get these if you want to have some actual recipe cards and follow the recipes. But that is literally it. Very simple. Share your photos. Let us know how it goes. Let us know what extra flavour you bring to yours.
Yeah, can't wait to see your photographs and, see how many people have baked along this week.
Yeah, has anybody else joined us?
Oh yeah, well, Drew's joined us as well. Hi Drew, good to see you. Sylvia Thomas as well. Pam's, yes, we are staying safe and baking as much as we can.
Someone's joined us from Florida.
Now, there you go. Tina is joining us from Florida. And Reese. Stephen from Joburg. Hi Stephen, good to have you here today. Sylvia, she's missed the first part of the recipe, but as Robin said, if you check the description link of this video, it's in there, and also it's further down the page.
And when we finish it, it'll get posted and you can rewind it.
This video will be up for a long time, so you can re-watch it again and again and again to your heart's content and make them every week.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. Those ones are going to cook. They'll be out in like 12 minutes, and then we'll be having some even fresher ones to have. So hope you guys are baking as well, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much for joining.
Bye. Bye. Bye.